hand up, John.
Oh, I wonder if they're just congratulating Carol. They can speak up, but otherwise, I am here to introduce our installation director for today, and that would be Karen Rekstein, of course, the Minnesota Dakota's Division 6 Lieutenant Governor, and she is here to make sure that everybody gets recognized for a wonderful year of service to the Kiwanis Club. So Karen, please take it away.
Okay, well, thank you, Mike, for the introduction. First of all, I have to start with, boy, what a year it's been. And I think we can all attest to that. Honestly, who knew what the words Zoom and mask would, that they would be in our daily and weekly conversations. I do feel that we've learned to use a Zoom, especially in our meetings and the meetings in our division, and our masks so effectively that by now they just almost seem like second nature. I would like to bring you up, before we do the installations, I'd like to bring you up to date on our division, which is the Minnesota Dakota's Division 6. The Division 6 has 27 clubs, and it is the division with the most clubs by far. So in order to accommodate the needs of all the clubs in our division, I have a team that actually helps me. And our division covers a majority of southern Minnesota. So if you look all the way to the border of western Minnesota, all the way over to probably Austin and that area, that's our division, Division 6. And we have divided the division basically into 3 different regions, the west, the east, and the central. And each team member took a number of clubs to support the different divisions throughout the year. So it is a little different now. It's not just me as the Lieutenant Governor that's actually going forward and trying to work with all of these clubs. I do have a 3-member team, and I would like to introduce them to you. They're not here at the meeting, obviously, but you will probably hear their names in the next year or so as they come on as the Lieutenant Governor team. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Governor-elect Lori Thompson. She's from the Austin Club, and starting October 1st, she will actually be your new Lieutenant Governor for Division 6. And Dave Keeler, who is from the Pipestone Club, he will actually be the Lieutenant Governor-elect on October 1st. And then there's also Sharon Taylor, our past Lieutenant Governor, who was your clubs, or the Mankato Club's contact this last year. And then I will be your club contact starting on October 1st when I become past Lieutenant Governor. So with that being said, that's been kind of helpful because we can focus on what our clubs truly need because we have divided them up. And so looking back on this last Kiwanis year, many of our clubs did not meet for a period of time until they learned ways to have a virtual online meeting. We were probably one of the fortunate clubs that we got right back on the horse per se and continued our meetings through Zoom. But I would say now the majority of clubs they are now meeting, whether it's social distancing or through a virtual meeting room. And some are even moving towards a hybrid meeting. The ones that were social distancing, it's interesting when I talked with a couple of them, they were actually meeting maybe at a park or at someone's acreage out in the country and actually able to social distance that way. So they were coming up with a few clever ways of getting together, which is very beneficial for the clubs. Now, my team was able to connect with every club in our division to do what I would call a health check. And so some of the questions that we asked when we met with these different clubs was, were they meeting in person? Were they meeting online, and how often? Initially there were quite a few clubs that did not meet. So we wanted to find that out. Also, have they found new ways to do service projects and fundraisers while social distancing? I know that was quite the conversation early on when clubs were dealing with COVID. So So what I did is once I received all the information from my team as far as service projects and fundraising, what I did is I shared them with all our club leadership and our division, with the idea that the clubs could add to the list periodically as well as gather new ideas for their clubs. And unfortunately, our club has lost 3 clubs that have chosen to dissolve in the last year. And retaining and adding new members, as well as small numbers in their clubs, were quite the concern for these clubs. And we have other clubs that are struggling too, but hopefully we can be there as a resource to help them too. These clubs that dissolved, they were from smaller communities and they had competition with other clubs or other service organizations for new members. What I was hearing out in the field was basically, well, in a community of 4,500 people, when a new person comes into the community, of course, you're going to ask them if they want to come to a club meeting. And with other service clubs out there asking the same thing of these potential new members, that was quite the struggle as well. So I was seeing quite a bit of that. So this has been obviously an area of concern for clubs this year, retention as well as gaining new members. So honestly, how do clubs achieve this? And obviously a successful membership drive would be an ideal way. And, what would that look like? It would have to be a focused time frame, a focused goal. And then, what you would do is you'd set a goal. How many new members do we want? Do we want to try to gain 1 new member, 10 new members, and so forth? So your club would, determine that and move forward with that. And of course, last but not least, in order to gain membership, you definitely want to have it be a fun event. You just want to keep in mind there's the 4 I's, obviously: invite, inform, induct, and involve. And one thing I think that as clubs focus on membership, they should always remember that your club is at its best when you bring a guest. Changing the way you ask is also key in getting others interested in attending your club gatherings. Instead of saying, the word meeting can be very dry and not very exciting. And so you want to keep some things in mind. Instead of saying meeting, you could say gather instead of meeting. I have a great group of people that I gather with each week, and we have some interesting projects that we're currently working on, that benefit our community and also our community and beyond. So get them excited that way, that make them feel that they are basically a part of something. Would you like to come and see what it's all about? And then one way to inspire younger individuals, because all of our clubs do need younger. We're fortunate that we have club members of all ages in our club, but there are some clubs that are aging out, and so they're looking to find younger members, obviously. So in order to inspire younger individuals, you want to put the thought in their mind that they can make a difference in their community by asking them to volunteer first at one of your fundraisers or service projects, rather than inviting them to, a gathering. So you want to show them initially how our clubs make a difference, because they want their time spent volunteering to, of course, be meaningful. And as we all do for the most part. So when asking them to join, use the word belong instead. That's very important. So vocabulary, just the way that you present it can make a difference in how a club or how a new member is invited. We would be honored if you belong to our club. This touches potential members' emotions or feelings to belong or to be part of something, rather than, would you like to join a club? Would you like to belong to a club? It just has a much nicer meaning to it, I think. Now, as John had mentioned, actually, let me think here. That was next Friday that they're going out to Camp Patterson, but Kiwanis One Day is coming up in October, and that's every October, and that's a day of service for clubs. And so what I would probably encourage you to do, you have the opportunity, even this Friday, to invite like-minded friends to join your volunteer team for that day for particular projects that you're doing. You can call them on the following Monday then and you know, thank them for helping. And then also, you know, did you enjoy our service project? How would you like to attend a club gathering to see a little bit more about what we're all about? And then maybe seal the deal with a new member. Also, a membership committee that focuses on ways to bring new members in or ways to retain members is so essential for a club. And I feel that the Kiwanis Club of Mankato is really fairly blessed to have a good membership committee. I'm also a member of that, and I think we are making some great progress on and have some great ideas too as well. So that's always good to see that you have a very active membership committee, which our club does. There's also, in closing, I'd also like to mention one more thing. And that's the Citizenship Award. This is another way to bring members in, by the way. It's where you can nominate someone in your committee that has done a heroic deed in the past year. And they'll be celebrated at the district convention and maybe even become a new member for your club. So that's another way to encourage those around you to attend and become a member too as well. One last thing, which I do think is very interesting, and I know that this has been around for a while. I don't know how often our club utilizes it. I know that the Petersons utilize it quite a bit, but it's the inner club. And what that is, it's the criteria is that 2 members of a club visit another club. And this could be anywhere in the world now because of Zoom, obviously, if you really want to do that. But a club must be a regular club meeting or a board meeting. And then visits may be made to the K Kids, Builders Club, Action Club, Key Club, Circle K, with a minimum of 6 different clubs. And then you would report your visit to the club secretary so that they can put it on the online monthly report. But this is another great way to find out what other clubs are doing within our division, our district, around the world. What our district is planning on doing is putting together some type of email. I know it's just in the beginning stages, or where you can connect with other clubs, probably obviously by Zoom. And so each week they'll be sending something out, is my understanding, and you can connect anywhere in our district. So look forward to that. And that's definitely a nice way to connect and collaborate with other clubs too as well. I am going to go ahead and start the installations now, as that is what I am here for. So with that, obviously you're not going to be able to stand, but Mary Hawkinson, I would like you to, let me see if I can find you here. Oh, there you are, Mary. Okay. Well, as a retiring director, I would like to thank you for your faithful service in directing your club this past year. Your hard work has made the club what it is today. Along with the members, I thank you for a job well done. Okay, let's go ahead and give Mary a hand in appreciation.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you.
And actually, Mary, did you serve 2 terms? I believe you did, didn't you?
I filled one and then you didn't notice, and then I got in again.
So you did fill 2 terms. Well, thank you so much for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and install those who are coming onto the board as directors for this coming year. So I guess as I say your name, you can either wave, and I'm sorry you could stand if you wanted to, but I'm not going to ask you to do that. John Swenson, Matt Brozick, Mark Mitzel, Laura Templin, Aaron Anundson, Don Westfall, and John Herenstein. The board of directors is comprised of you, the elected directors and officers. Most club business is conducted by the board of directors, so you are assuming significant responsibility for your club, and you will determine club policies and activities approve the budget and payment of bills, council committees, approve and discipline members, and generally manage the club. I congratulate each of you and know that each of you will work hard towards this club having its best year ever. And now it is my pleasure to formally install each of you as a director of this club. Thank you. John Kind. It is a wise provision in Kiwanis that provides for immediate past president to continue one more year as a member of the board of directors. Your experience as chief executive officer this past year will be most helpful to your successor as well as the board of directors. I charge with you giving your best as you remain a member of the board for one more year. Congratulations to you on your fine record for this last year and making it so amusing. And we couldn't have done it without you. We couldn't have gotten through the year without you, John. So we are very, very happy about that.
Thank you, Karen.
Laura Stevens would like to present you, or would like to offer some words. Laura?
Yep, I think Wendy has a plaque, but I don't see Wendy on my screen. So. The plaque he will be presented with says, Kiwanis President John Kind, presented in recognition of exceptional leadership and devoted service by Kiwanis Club of Mankato 2019 to 2020. And I just wanted to echo what Karen said. I wanted to thank you, John, for your leadership during a challenging year. Your calm demeanor and sense of humor got us through some interesting times. And I'd like to thank you for your dedication and consistent presence in meetings, Zoom calls, and apparently your streak of letters in the newsletter. So thank you very much, Sean.
Yep. Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much. Honey, will you put that under my pillow? Very nice. Thank you very much.
Okay, Sharon Taylor and Shannon Sinning. Now this is kind of a unique situation because a couple years ago, we actually added another member to the board, and that was our billing secretary. So I am going to honor both of you today. Apologize for that. Okay, so you're both no stranger to the role of club secretary and billing secretary. In Kiwanis, the secretary is master of all details. Your role in handling club affairs is essential for the club to run smoothly. And we know that because what does John always say, that you're the glue that holds the club together, I believe. You've already undertaken this duty for, I hate to ask, Sharon, how many years?
I'd have to count, but I will say that the first full year was Jackie Lageson's year.
Oh,
So
okay.
Jackie, how long ago was that?
Quite a few years ago, right? Well, anyway, thank you for your service. And Shannon, you're fairly new at your position as billing secretary, so I think it's been maybe 1 year.
It's just been a few months, and I was just really desperate to work with Sharon again, and this was my opportunity, and I took it.
Okay, good for you. Well, the club has again placed its confidence in you both to continue. So do you solemnly and sincerely promise that you will administer the the office of secretary and billing secretary to the best of your ability and judgment, in conformity with the bylaws of this club? That in all your acts, you will be guided by the objects of Kiwanis International? If this be your desire, please answer with, I will.
I will.
Okay, well, thanks so much for your past service, and we know that you're going to have another great year as secretary and as billing secretary. Alex Swanson. Is he here
I
today?
don't think Alex is on today.
Okay.
I don't think he dropped some checks in my office about 5 minutes ago, so I don't think he's back to his office yet. So he's working. He's working.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, he has definitely served well in the office of treasurer, and You know, this office demands absolute integrity as well as financial and accounting skills. And of course, this club is again expressing their confidence in Alex, in Alex's good service by asking him to stay on another year. So it's my pleasure to install Alex again as treasurer of the Kiwanis Club of Mankato. Mike Lagerquist. As the one selected to lead your club during the following year, you will need to prepare to lead the club as president next year. I ask that you consider the remarks to be made to your new president as being addressed to you also. As you plan activities in your life, be mindful of the responsibilities you are accepting for leadership in the future with your club. You already have committed to attend the training for club presidents when it is offered and attendance at division and district meetings. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise that you will administer the club of president-elect to the best of your judgment and ability in conformity with the bylaws of this club? That in all your acts you will be guided by the objects of Kiwanis International? If this be your desire, please answer, I will.
I will.
It is my pleasure now to install you as president-elect of the Kiwanis Club of Mankato.
Thank you.
Okay, Laura Stevens. You've been elected to the highest office that can be bestowed on a member of the club. With this honor comes a great amount of responsibility. The club felt that you could assume this challenge, or they would not have placed you in this position. To no small degree, the success of your club this coming year will depend on your leadership and inspiration. Listen to your members, for they are the heartbeat of the club. Listen to your fellow officers, for they are the experienced leaders. Listen to your district and international leaders, for they are in a position to help ease your load. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise that you will administer the office of president to the best of your ability and judgment in the conformity with the bylaws of this club? That in all your acts you will be guided by the objects of Kiwanis International? If this be your desire, please answer, I will.
I will.
Okay, well, Laura, you're going to be a great president. And accept this challenge with an open mind towards growth and service, and conduct your meetings with integrity. But in all, of course, be starting to have some fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I am going to ask everyone to listen up. A Kiwanis Club can never be a one-person operation, and I urge you to accept as your goal the task of making your club better, more meaningful to its members, to each other, and more valuable in its service to the community. As members of this club, do you pledge your loyal support to these officers and board members who you have elected? Please respond with, I do.
I do.
I do.
Well, congratulations, one and all. And I wish you all the most successful year, and I can assure you of the complete cooperation and assistance of the division, our district, and international officers and committee chairmen. Thank you so much.
Karen, can I ask you a question? Do we induct Liz at this one or no?
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes. Mine does not have a VP on here. That's why my
Okay.
but we will. Liz, where are you? Are you here?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, Liz, there you are. We will induct you now. How is that? Okay.
That's fine. Whatever. It's good.
Oh, no, you need to be inducted.
You know, all my other clubs that I've done do not have vice presidents. So that's what's interesting about this club. We have a VP, and believe it or not, it is Elizabeth Paul. Thank you for that. So, as the one selected to lead your club during the following year as vice president, you will need to prepare to lead the club as president-elect next year. And I ask that you consider the remarks made to your new leadership as being addressed to you also. As you plan activities for your life, be mindful of the responsibilities you're accepting for leadership in the future of your club. You've already committed to attend the training for club presidents when it is offered, and attendance at division and district meetings. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise that you will administer the office of vice president to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity with the bylaws of this club? That in all your acts, you will be guided by the objects of Kiwanis International? If this be your desire, please answer, I will.
I will.
Okay, well, it is my greatest pleasure to install you as Vice President for the club, Kiwanis Club of Mankato. And at this time, I know outgoing President John wanted to say a few words.
All right, and I'll just make this real quick because we're getting down toward the end here. I just wanted to say, it's been a great year. It's been an interesting year, a challenging year. We showed up at City Center last fall and there was no one there. And then our new board member, John Swenson, got us into Loose Moose right away. And Laura Stevens and I looked at multiple places, to have our meetings when we get back together. I can't wait to do that. We're still going to be choosing between the Wow Zone and the Country Inn and Suites, Loose Moose, Old Main Village, and Pastone now too. COVID kind of ended our in-person meetings. We only missed about a month's worth of meetings before we got started again. I just wanted to thank everybody for what we did get done this year. Until March came, we did do the Reading Oasis. We did the Student of the Month. And last week, Kathy got us started on that again. Thank you, Kathy, for doing that. Even though we've had the issues that we had this year, we still distributed our scholarships to our students. We recognized our musical stars with our Kiwanis Music Awards. We had a great season of Kiwanis Holiday Lights, the most successful season ever. Thank you, Scott, and everybody who works on Kiwanis Holiday Lights. We distributed, along with other service clubs, iPads to seniors in our community. If you remember, we did that so they can talk to their kids and grandkids. And then this past summer, thanks to many different club members, but especially to John Swenson, we got a lot of great work done out at Camp Patterson. So I think even with what went on, we got a lot done this year. But the thing that I'm most proud of is that we still are a strong club after all this time. And we aren't even close to having issues with membership and everything. And I just wanted to thank everybody for sticking with the club and being here throughout the whole year and being on these Zoom meetings. I know some of us get zoomed out and everything, but it's wonderful that we still have a club of right around 100 members after all that we've been through. So thank you. There you go.
Thank you, John.
You bet, Kathy. Thank you.
And now I understand Laura Stevens would like to say a few words.
Yep, I know we're getting close to the end, so I too will make it short. I just, I was thinking back 3 years ago when Shannon Sinning asked me to be president, what if he had said, well, we won't really have a place to eat and we'll have to be doing meetings on Zoom, which we don't even know what that is right now, and we won't have any of our service projects. But it's an exciting challenge. I'm looking forward to it. And I know there's a lot of uncertainty right now, but like John said, our board will meet and we will be able to figure out when and where we'll meet and when it's safe. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in person. Just a couple of things I wanted to talk about for the upcoming year. One is our centennial celebration, which is February 19th, 2021. So our 100th year anniversary. We've known about this, that was one of the things Shannon talked to me about when he asked, and I'm very excited for that. Well, we're planning a whole year-long celebration. And we have a few subcommittees on our task force, and we would love more help. So right now we have a research and writing subcommittee that's being led by Mike Lagerquist and Darity Mixon. Promotions and public relations that's being led by Karen Rekstein and myself. And we also have a special events and special programming subcommittee. So we'll be giving you more information on that as we go, but we are excited about our centennial. I think we have a lot to share of our impact of our club over 100 years. And I think it'll also be a good way to attract new members moving forward. So speaking of new members, I loved what Karen said about attracting new members. And I know that that's how we can keep going and growing, is just to get new people involved in our work. I would like to really make sure that we are welcoming and as inclusive to a widely diverse group of members as we can be. And if anyone is interested in joining me with that work as I go along, please let me know too, because I'm excited about that. I think we have a great group, and it'd be really fun to show it off and get even more people involved. And I was going to do a big pitch for Camp Patterson Capital Campaign, but Shannon did it, which is great. And again, I want to just thank everybody who's already donated. It's fantastic. And if you can go on by October 31st and even do $1, it would really help us with grants that we're trying to get. They love to see that there's 100% participation with the groups. And thank you. And again, I just want to thank you all for being a member of Kiwanis and sticking through this these tough times and through Zoom. And I think we'll get through it to the other side and be back in person as we want to be. But I really look forward to being your president and all the exciting things ahead. Thank you.
Laura, thank you. I have something for you. Here is the official Kiwanis gavel, and I'm going to hand it over to you right now.
Thank you very much. That's
Yay,
great.
Laura, look at that, magic of Zoom.
Thank you. I guess then, does that mean it's my turn to end the meeting, or? Karen, do you have anything else you need to add, or?
I do not, no.
Can I just say
well,
real quickly, Laura, thank you to Wendy. It's like we got 2 presidents for the price of 1 with Wendy and John, in my opinion. And I want to thank Wendy also. John doesn't know this, but in order to save money, Alex and Sharon and I got the travel size edition of the plaque, and Wendy made it look just like it was the normal size. So John, it's a big surprise when you get home. It was like 99 cents. It was awesome.
Okay, don't put it under my pillow, put it under my toothbrush. There you go.
Great. Well, thanks everybody. I hope you have a great day. And Doc Wortman, do you want to help us sing out?
Yeah, I'm going to try to direct, so please watch so we can stay together. Here we go.
Okay.
When Kiwanis calls, when Kiwanis calls, let every man sing. When Kiwanis calls, when Kiwanis calls, let each one raise their cup. As we gather around the table, as long as we watch able, we went to the royalty. When Kiwanis calls, you gotta watch better than that. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.